Let's now talk about local presence and global trends in the distribution market. My guests for this talk are Mark Larson and Hermann Reiter from Digi-Key. While Mark will cover the global trends topic, Hermann will focus on the local presence aspect. My first question is to Hermann Reiter. He is Sales Director Central Europe with Digi-Key. Welcome, Hermann.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So Hermann, what are the major reasons for Digi-Key having a direct presence in Europe?
I think first of all, it's the obvious to be local. I mean, with no doubt, in Europe, Munich specifically is the Silicon Valley, where you want to be and where you have to be. And if you are committed to the local market, you have to be local. That was the main reason to put more touch points in place in Europe.
And what are the responsibilities and tasks which are handled locally in Europe?
So overall, we are servicing both models in Europe, which is the prototyping business, so the engineering business, which is our bread and butter business, which we're not going to go away. This is what we are doing and will be doing furthermore. But we're also servicing customers who want a little bit more than only the engineering samples. Many customers come to us and say, hey, I bought the engineering samples. Can you get me the little volume, 50 pieces, 100 pieces, and maybe give me 130 pieces on a reel, a Digi-reel? Can you do me some favors here and some add-ons and value adds? And that is exactly the business model we are continuing. So from a service point of view, we service from a commercial side out of Munich, the customers with the inside sales team, with a team of engineers who are application engineers. We're servicing a customer service function, price function, the usual functions you need in order to perform a business on a local basis.
And you're doing that from Munich for all of Europe?
From Munich for all of Europe for the production customers. And we have another center up in Netherlands where we are servicing our prototype customers who are basically buying the engineering samples.
So what are the benefits of your local presence for the customers in Europe?
Prototype to engineering, we believe there is the main benefit for Digi-Key moving forward. One of the other main benefits is to understand the European customer behavior and to understand the jigsaw and the puzzle, how customers are interact with each other. Today, designs are not done by one person. There are multiple. There's a network of engineers have created themselves either with independent design houses, with universities, with experts and specialists in certain areas, which then come together to one point, or they take a reference board, for example. And we need to understand better the market and really consolidate that know-how to come with a compelling story and to service all of these touch points, which probably are not serviced today from most of our competitors, since that is not the business where you can make the big money, but we believe service will then create the opportunity for Digi-Key.
What are your plans for the future for Europe? What areas you want to expand?
I think we, first of all, we have to scale the model to where we are. I mean, we came here and a year or 2 years ago, there wasn't any feet on the street, let's say, with having 51,000 customers in Europe already. We need to first really catch up to the needs of the market and the infrastructure. That's our main task for the next 1-2 years. And then we will scale it accordingly. Definitely the lookalike of Digi-Key will be more local, with more local touch, with more local engagement points. We do seminars in Europe. We do road shows. We are participating in various tech days, and we just recently were in an FPGA day involved, and so there are many technical theme-related things we're doing. And the good news with us is we are not restricting that to any customer base. We are really open. A well-kept secret is for sure that Digi-Key has 500,000 tech and web calls every year. That goes down to around 1,300 web and tech chats on every day. This service is available 24 hours for everybody. You can try it. Go in the website, digi-key.com, go to the chat. The chat will be there. They will answer your question in normally an average about 20 minutes. You can then just click and they will email it to you, the same chat what you just had with the guy over in either Europe or in the United States.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So my next question would be to Mark Larson, President of Digi-Key. And I would like to really know from you, Mark, what do you see as the major trends in catalog distribution? Catalog distribution, this is an old phrase because you don't really doing catalogs anymore.
Right. Well, I think Digi-Key is somewhat of a trendsetter in catalog distribution. Like you say, it's changed some. Digi-Key no longer has a printed catalog. We're the only one of the distributors now often referred to as high service that don't have a printed catalog, but we rely totally on our website. And it's interesting, several years ago, before we discontinued print of our catalog, if we took the pages of our catalog from end to end, they would go around the world 25 times at the equator. So we're saving a lot of trees, but aside from that trend, I think what we're seeing in the high service distributors that I think all are trying to improve the content, strengthen the content on their site, and Digi-Key is right in the middle of that. The idea is, from a standpoint of Digi-Key, we want to be considered the tool of the engineer. We want to be the one they go to for specs. We want to be the one they go to for application notes. We have product training modules that are short videos or PowerPoints that go into depth in terms of new product typically or new technologies. So I expect that trend will continue and the web will be just continually become stronger and a better source for the engineer.
So that means that rather than just selling components, you're also providing all the technical information around that.
I think it's absolutely critical because certainly as a business, our ultimate goal would be to sell components, but what we believe that the differentiation from one distributor to the next is going to be the ease with which the engineer can access the information to make the decision to design the component in.
Mm-hmm. And if we have a look into the future, maybe in 5 years from now, how would Digi-Key look like in 5 years?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting. I think one thing, and we're seeing the beginning of it in Munich at this point in time, and in Europe at this point in time, where we're becoming much more local. Digi-Key for years has only had a virtual presence in Europe, and now we actually have a fair number of people that are supporting our efforts, both in the design and in the production. So that's probably the single biggest feature. Then if you get involved and you say, well, 5 years from now, what is the industry going to look like? I really believe that the industry is going to look more and more like Digi-Key. I think that you're going to see traditional distributors that had business models that were developed 70 or 80 years ago. For 90% of those years, they were able to maintain that business model, and I think it's changing because of the way the engineers want to access the information, and it's really empowered the engineer because no longer does that engineer have to rely on a salesman to give information, a salesman for product samples or any other type of support. Now the power has totally shifted to the engineer.
The engineer, to the on-demand information which he can get at any time.
Right, and so what we really see, if you want to talk in business terms, we really see that an industry that for many years was based on what they call relationship marketing. Basically, you doing business with me, and because of our friendship and mutual respect, did business. Now it's really shifted to what's called performance marketing. And performance marketing is an engineer sitting in Munich wanting 10, 50, 100 parts, placing an order and having them there. In the case of Digi-Key, they would be in his office in probably 48 hours. So we're seeing it may look like sometimes it may look like watching grass grow in terms of the way the industry is moving, but if you stand back, you can see how far and how fast it's moving at this time. And it's leveraging technology, and I think totally to the advantage of the engineering community.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.